Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So today I've got some copper rounds to showcase. Now, for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you probably would have seen these rounds already. Now, I went through a stage where I was picking up quite a bit of copper. Now, I picked up some copper rounds, I picked up some 1 kilogram copper bars, and I also picked up a 5 kilogram copper bar. Absolutely huge bar. I'll try and remember to put the link to that video in the description if you want to have a look at it. But yeah, absolutely monster of a bar. It takes up the whole of this screen, so I actually had to film that unboxing away from this setup because it was too big to fit on the screen, and it's really heavy. It's got a real nice bit of weight to it because it's quite dense as well. It's just a solid piece of metal. So my question to you in this video is, do you think copper is a good investment? Now, I've said in many videos that I do think long-term copper will perform very well. And I know those comments and views are quite controversial. Some people, I feel like, I say this quite a lot, but I do feel like, I said it the other day with the 1 gram bars, you either love them or hate them. And I feel that's similar to copper. I feel like people either love it or hate it. Some people think copper in bullion form is an absolute waste of money because the premiums are crazy on them compared to if you was to walk into, say, a hardware store and just pick up some copper pipe or copper wire. And I do feel like it is literally a love or hate thing. Some people really like the idea of copper bullion. They like the fact that you can pick it up for obviously a lot cheaper compared to like a silver coin, for example. So you can obviously stack it in volume. They like the idea that it has lots of different designs. I find with copper rounds, you get so many different designs. As you can see from this video, they're all completely different designs. There's lots of strange ones out there. And I feel like, especially for those people that have been stacking silver for a long period of time, and you almost starts becoming a bit mundane because you've run out of kind of coins that you've got in your collection. I feel like that could be another reason why people start getting into copper bullion, just because, like I said, you've got the variety, I can't say that word, of new different designs and things. So that's quite a cool one. So yeah, I would be interested to hear your thoughts on copper bullion. Do you think it has a place in the stack, or do you think that if you want to invest in copper, then forget about copper bullion and just go to the store and buy some copper pipes or copper cables? Because I have heard lots of stories when I release these sorts of videos talking about copper bullion from people that say that they brought copper pipes or they got copper cables and tubes and all the rest of it, and they put them in their garage and they return to them in a few years' time, and they have made quite a large amount of money from them. For me, I'm not really just a stacker, I'm a collector as well, as you probably know from my videos. And I think having a YouTube channel, you kind of fall into the collector side of things, because if I just was to stack the same thing over and over again, my videos have become very boring, very mundane. People would stop watching them because it would be the same content. So I feel like when you're a content creator on YouTube, you do end up becoming more of a collector than a stacker long term. That's really nice. Look at the detail on the wings. Because you kind of have to add variety to your stack in order for people to want to tune into your videos and see your videos. So that for me is another reason why I think I was drawn towards copper bullion, just because I couldn't just have a copper tube or a copper pipe or whatever on my channel. And maybe if I didn't have a YouTube channel, then maybe I would probably agree with the people that are saying these bullion copper rounds are a waste of time, because maybe if I didn't need to have something that looks nice and looks pretty and you can play around with, then maybe I would have gone down the route of buying some copper piping or something like that. So who knows? But for me, I do think that although these carry a premium, when the time comes that copper continues to rise, and it seems to be rising very well, I think it made the top 3 metals performance wise last year in 2022. I think it was gold, silver. It might have been the other way around. It might have even been silver, gold, and then copper, in that order of all the different metals there are in terms of performance. Now, obviously, fact check that fact, but I'm pretty sure that is an actual fact. So, however, copper does do very well, even if that fact is not 100% true, which I think it is. Copper has performed very, very well over the years. And like I said, I do think, although these contain a huge premium, I do think I will still end up getting more for my money when I come to sell these. I genuinely think that. And I wouldn't have brought so many items if I didn't believe that. I wouldn't have gone out and brought a 5 kilogram copper bar. I wouldn't have gone and brought all the 1 kilogram bars. I think I've got 4 or 5 of the 1 kilogram copper bars. I wouldn't have spent that sort of a amount of money and time in acquiring all of those different items if I didn't think that copper bullion had a place in a stack, because it wouldn't make sense to. Once, if I just wanted to buy a 1 kilogram bar for the channel, I would have just bought one. I wouldn't have bought 4 or 5 or whatever it is I've got in my stack. So I do genuinely believe that long term copper has a place in the stack. Now, I don't for 1 minute think that it should overtake your allocation to silver or gold, but I do think personally, and obviously I'm not a financial advisor, so you've got to make your own decisions when you're making any investment, but I do think part of your stack should contain copper. Now, I'm not sure what percentage that would be, whether you would stack 45% silver, 45% gold, and then 10% copper. I don't really know the split, to be honest, but I do think it definitely deserves a place in your portfolio. And I've said it in previous videos, and those of you that have watched my videos for a while, you'll know that I don't stack loads of different metals. I don't go out there and buy palladium and platinum and all these different metals that are available for you to invest in, because I do think the market is becoming a bit saturated in terms of bullion products and the different metals that are available in bullion form. But I do think that the copper is going to be something that I will definitely add into my portfolio as the years go on. Now, my main allocation is silver, as you know, hence the name of the channel. Then my second allocation is obviously gold, and then copper. But copper will never ever catch up with those two, because long term gold and silver, in my opinion, will win. But I do definitely think that these copper bullion rounds and bars do deserve a place in your stack. Even if you just go out and buy a 1 kilogram copper bar, for example, and add it to your stack, what have you got to lose? I don't think it's gonna lose you a whole lot of money, because they're not very, very expensive in the first place. So yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Have you got copper in your stack? Do you despise copper bullion? Do you refuse to pay the premiums over spot, if you like? It's not really called spot, is it? Because it's not a precious metal, but over the kind of price if you was to go in and buy tubing. And also another argument I get from a lot of people when I mention copper bullion is they compare it to the tubes and the piping and the things like that, and they're two completely different items. They're not the same. You can't compare a piece of tubing to these gorgeous looking coins that have had so much work put into them, because they're completely different items. Yes, they're made from the same metal, but in terms of coming to sell them, one, these can be sold so much easier. You can sell them online. You can whack it in a jiffy bag in a letter and post it. You can't do that with a huge copper pipe. And two, you're never going to sell this for the price of a copper pipe, are you? Because it's just not the same product. It's completely different. It's the same as if you're trying to compare it to when you buy silver shot. People that do their own pouring silver, and you buy like the small shots of silver, you're not going to compare that price to a silver coin, are you? Because at the end of the day, yes, they're the same metal, but they're completely different items. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I just wanted to kind of showcase these rounds again, because I do quite often get them out to have a look at, because I do think, and I never thought copper would be something that you would like to have a look at and play with, the same as I do with silver. But I do just think the designs are really, really nice, really, really intricate. They seem to kind of hold designs really well. And I think the reason why they look so nice as well is because they have got that kind of gold tint to them. So it's quite nice when you've got like a pile like this of copper. It almost makes you feel like you've got a pile of gold, because it is a very similar colour, especially when you compare it to the latest sovereigns. It's very similar colour. In previous videos I've actually held one of these copper rounds next to the newer sovereigns, and there's not much difference in colour. So yeah, let me know what you think. We'll leave the video there today. I know this video will probably get a bit of hate because there are people, like I said, that really despise copper bullion. They think it's an absolute waste of money. But for me, I do think it definitely deserves a place in your stack. Like I said, not a huge percentage, but I do definitely think it deserves a small allocation. So yeah, as always, thanks very much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a nice day.